And we're live, guys. I've been so. First of all, my name is Jay Angel. I'm going to be your host for this edition of the Let's Talk Fishing podcast. I have been so excited about this. I even kind of screwed up in the introduction. I have Steve Dufrene and Tyler Rivet here, and they're going to be talking about Responsible Anglers United and about Tyler's raffle and about everything that Responsible Anglers United is doing for the fishing here in Southern Louisiana. So, without further ado, man, I don't want to take up any of their time. Take it away, guys.
All right. Well, Jay, we'd like to get started by talking about Tyler's raffle. He did a hugely successful raffle last year, and Tyler could talk a little bit about that experience. And then I think more importantly, talk about the one we have coming up. So take it away.
Yeah, this year I brought the two winners to Lake St. Clair in Michigan. If y'all seen the pictures and the videos, it was a great experience for those two. They still every day, like if I see them, they're like, "Man, that was just a trip of a lifetime." It's just they weren't expecting something like that, you know. Like when we say it's a trip of a lifetime, it is. Like it's life changing because they literally want to go back every year now to that place, and it's fun, man. Like you don't catch smallmouth down here, especially giants, and that place was just loaded with numbers and the quality. There was just two and one, and they got to
Yes.
experience that, man. Especially like clear water, like we don't see clear water unless you go in the Gulf down
Yes.
here, and over there you can see
Right.
8 foot down, 10 foot down. It looks like you're sitting in a bathtub catching these smallmouth. So it was a fun
And guys,
trip.
if you've never experienced that clearwater smallmouth, when you see that brown bass coming up like this, then it comes up and it's
Yeah,
thrilling. I don't know how else
it
to
is.
describe that.
It's crazy. And then the fun part about it too, they were catching them. They're used to, like 65-pound test, flipping fish in and stuff. And we had to swap to, a spinning rod with 6-pound test over there. And
Yeah.
they popped off on the first couple because they were just setting the hook so hard. And I'm like, just ease them like a
Yes,
little, I don't even know, like a sockeye or something. But
like a
no,
sockeye. Yeah,
it's fun. And then
and you got a
this
sweet
year,
talker in it.
oh yeah, you got to barely touch it. But this year I'm doing the same thing, but we're going to be going to Lake Champlain in New York,
Oh,
and that's going to be a fun trip. It's a huge largemouth and smallmouth place, so we could do whatever they want. But I suggest that the smallmouth, it's a trip of a lifetime. Over there, you're going to be live scoping them, or you could just go on down the bank and they could just blow up on top water. So it's a
so much
fun place
fun.
to go. That's going to be August 17th to the 20th. And the same thing, we're paying for the trip, for the flights, lodging, everything. You're just going to basically buy your raffle ticket for $35 a ticket
And a license.
and a license, which is like maybe 30, 20, $10 for 3 days or so.
Right.
So, I mean, just $35 could change your life, just for a trip of a lifetime. And you're donating to Responsible Anglers United by helping us release fish down here. So it's a win-win basically if you win.
And guys, if you want more information about this, go to responsibleanglersunited.com. I have that in the bottom left.
Yeah, and Jay, we wanted to make an announcement. Tyler just said, how you can get a chance for $35, and we made a couple of adjustments. I'll make another announcement here in a little while, but one of the adjustments we made was we lowered it from 35. It was just kind of an odd number, so we lowered it all the way down to 20. So we're actually making that adjustment in like like in this moment, if someone went to responsibleanglersunited.com, they can get tickets for the event, they can make donations and all that stuff. But Tyler's raffle is not on there, I think, right at this second. His wife Brianne's going to set that up in a little while. But so up until this point, the only way to purchase one of his raffles was through the everything we were sharing on Facebook, where you just go to the link and you could purchase it. So my point is that we're gonna get it on responsibleanglersunited.com. So that's we're still we're still a work in progress here, and we just got so much stuff going on right now. We're all pretty spread thin with the event being that close, but the thing about the website is that really is our hub. So hopefully once we get that done, it's kind of that one stop shopping experience, so to speak, to get whatever you want, or you related. So yeah, so it's gonna go down to $20, and that's a hell of a deal. So 35 to
Wow.
20, you know. So I at that point, nobody's got any excuse not to get a chance, and
So
and
20
we
bucks
just
for plane tickets, lodging, and Tyler
Yeah.
coming and picking you up and taking you fishing.
Yeah. I
And I'm sure
mean,
if you don't have tackle, Tyler's got 18 of everything.
Something like that.
right.
At
So that's 2
least.
boats right now too. If you want to buy
Yeah,
one.
Tyler
Yeah,
has
go
2
ahead.
boats.
While we're here,
Yeah.
I do have a 920 Elite Phoenix for sale.
Yeah.
2025.
Fully rigged, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Tell them a little bit more about it. Is he shot?
Oh.
Man, yeah, no, it's a good boat. I have the same boat. I just went to pick up my new one, but I'm still selling that one. It's 72,000. I got it listed at with
All right.
four Garmin 12s with a live scope. Got the power pole move with the power poles. You got all the batteries. You got all the lithiums. You're good to go. I mean, this is one of those boats where you just jump in. Shit, I might even leave the waypoints in there for whoever wants it. If they're a tournament fisherman, you get all the good stuff.
Cool.
So that's a deal.
That is a deal.
Cool. Oh,
I think Steve's
that's
interested
just
now.
more than the house I live in.
Uncle deal.
But also, it's worth more than the house I live in. So, but that is so cool, man. There's all that, but it's fully rigged, guys. You know, that's one-stop shopping. One-stop
And Jay, we
shopping.
wanted to say
man.
this.
And
Jay, we wanted to mention this too, and maybe it goes without saying, but I mean, as far as for the logistics and whatnot of, whenever we pull the winner, wherever that winner's from, as long as they within the continental United States, it doesn't matter. That's where we're going to book a flight from to fly them into New York and everything. Thanks to Tyler offering up this very gracious gift, to the organization, and it is literally a trip of a lifetime. So I mean, if you do the math on, unless you live in New York, of course, but the odds of somebody winning in New York, it's of course it's possible, but you know there's going to be tickets, 99 out of 100. There's going to be airline tickets purchased. Of course, the lodging is going to be there. And you're not only going out with a guide, you're going out with a seasoned professional at this point. And I'm not sure what the exact number would be, but if you tried to book that on your own, it's several thousand, probably $5,000+ would be, I think 5,000 would be on the low end to make that happen. So for $20 to get that one shot for 3 days, it's unstinking believable, man. And look,
3 days.
I know we mentioned this the last time, but it bears repeating.
$700 a day is what they charge on the coast.
Yeah. The guys that the guy Scott Gobisher that won last year, he literally bought one ticket, so just that's what I tell anybody that's interested. Just buy a ticket. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to win it. But this is what you do know. If you don't get a ticket, you do know you don't have a shot. So anybody watching this across the United States, go to that website right there and you can better purchase a ticket for $20, and it wouldn't hurt to get a few of them.
Would not hurt to get a few of them, because here's what we're buying, man.
Yep. That's what we get.
This is what we bought. We didn't buy fingerlings. We bought 4 to 6 inch bass, and some of those bass looked like they were. You guys were there, didn't you think some of those were pushing 8?
Yeah, a few of them did. I mean, some of these fish have a chance to spawn this spring, which is exciting because those fish are going to grow fast. Because, in September when they did the test for everything, when they tested the water, the oxygen was perfect. The amount of bait fish and the diversity of bait fish was through the roof, and the grass, all the habitat that we needed to sustain them, to give them cover and whatnot, was coming back. It's just everything fell in line. So these fish have everything they need to survive, and there's just not a lot of there's not a lot of fish out there right now to prey on them. So their odds of survival are really high. The two biggest threats that we face are, and I guess this will always be the case, but it's Mother Nature. If we have a hurricane, we just go back to work and raise more fish and release them again. I mean, because people ask me sometimes, what if it happens? It's going to happen at some point.
It's going to happen. Southern Louisiana, man, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But guess what? We're this organization, as I said on the last podcast, I hope it outlives me. That's the goal, because there's always going to be room for improvement. So as long as every year we get this thing down a little better, the This year we want to raise more money than last year, of course, But anyway, the
Cool.
point is that, between if a hurricane happens, we're gonna put more fish in the water the following year. If it don't have a hurricane, we're gonna put fish where needed. We're gonna start moving around. That's the whole plan, to start going to different areas, to
Yes.
wherever, somewhere, at least it's, somewhat local, as long as it's got the habitat that could sustain it. We're just going to continue with that theme, and our organization is going to evolve over time. And the other threat, of course, is, and this to me is the biggest threat, is people just overfishing them, so,
Sure.
we're,
So Steve, what about the event on January 31st?
okay. The event is quickly approaching. I can tell you that. It's not like it's, I don't know, it somehow snuck up on me today. Like I had like this epiphany that kind of scared me. I'm like, man, as of this Saturday, it's 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. So yeah. But look, I'll put it to you like this, Jay. At this point last year, when we were a little over 2 weeks out, we weren't remotely as well organized as we are right now. We had a lot of people that came on board, and if there's one thing I can say that I'm extremely, I'm full of gratitude because of the fact that people did show up, the right people showed up, and that's what happens. You get 20, 25 people in an organization. Different people have different strengths, and just like any organization, when people play to their strengths, it kind of all balances out, and that's kind of where we're at right now, where people are having more defined roles based on those strengths and everything. So yeah, we're looking good, man. In fact, I know you have the flyer up, and I got one of our posters right here, but I'll just use this as a reference. But um, just like last year, Jay, $50 gets you in the door if you're 21 and older. Okay, but for
Yeah.
$50, of course, you get to support our organization, and I think maybe not everybody, but I think the vast majority of people that are coming, they're coming for a good time, but they also coming because they actually believe in what we're doing in terms of our mission and whatnot. Um, and then for that $50, you eat all you want, you drink all you want, and I'm gonna come back to that in a second. But I wanted to point this out too, because I definitely want to make sure I don't forget this. We made it. I said it a minute ago that we made a couple of adjustments. Another adjustment that, or an announcement I'd like to make that I think isn't gonna offend anyone is, so yeah, for 21 and over, it's still going to be $50 to walk through the door. But if
Sure.
you're, the way we did it last year was anyone that was under 21, 20 or younger, it was $25. What we did this year, to get more kids involved and make less of a hassle for parents, if someone's between ages of 16 and 20, they're still going to pay $25. But if you have a kid that's 15 or younger, those kids get in for free.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That place is big enough. You can have an area where kids can just go over there and just run around and have fun.
It is, and I know it. I
Kids,
mean, I mean, if I was a kid, or Tyler was a kid, and we saw that there was an event out there that was geared towards the future, and if we were getting sick and tired of going fish with our dad or our friends and all not catching anything, and we saw that some people were getting together to change that to because like I always say, we could either hand them down a bunch of you know back in the good old days stories, or we can go to work and give them what they deserve. So that's the thing. So I think getting the kids there is gonna make a big deal. So obviously, if we don't charge for 15 and under, that's gonna allow a lot more kids to be there. Um, the other thing, Jay, back to the all-inclusive price of $50 from a food standpoint, as it says here and here, we're gonna have jambalaya. Look, I mean, I guess nobody that would be promoting would say that their food's gonna suck. But we literally have some of the best cooks in the area preparing this, and we do all the cooking ourselves.
Yeah.
Just because we know we're going to get a great product, but also it's more cost effective because we are a nonprofit after all, right? But
Yes.
we're going to have jambalaya, pastalaya, white beans, fried fish, all locally sourced, none of this overseas. All my buddy Donovan Dominic, and some of his friends donated over 100 pounds of locally caught in a perfect size catfish too.
Ooh,
We're gonna have
nice.
sauce pecan. We're not sure if it's a deer, alligator sauce pecan. Yeah, we're working out, but there will be sauce pecan. We're gonna have gumbo. We're gonna have griots. We're gonna have wall to wall sweets. And another big thing that we're gonna have that we didn't have last year, something I'm super excited about. one of our board members, Scott Robichaud, has been a huge asset since he came along. He came on shortly after our event last year. Anyway, he had a party last year I was at, and he had these guys from they called Wild Isle Seafood. They're out of Grand Isle, and it's farm raised oysters. And I never had a farm raised oyster in my life.
Farm raised oysters. Wow.
Yeah, and they are a cut above. And if you talk to anybody that's ever tried them, they will tell you the exact same thing. It's a
I ate those
different.
over in Korea, man. They were delicious.
It is unstinking believable. They're not quite as big, but they're firm. I mean, it's perfect.
Perfect for on a cracker.
So we're gonna have 1,500 oysters at the event. And if you like them raw, we're gonna have them raw. And if you like them charbroiled, we're gonna have them charbroiled. So that's something
1,500 oysters.
Yeah, that came
That's
along
worth
after we printed
$50
all
right
this
there.
out. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, for $50 to have all the food and all. Now, so let's talk about the adult beverages. So of course we're gonna have all the big name beer brands like we had last year. Dos Equis, Miller Lite, Ultra, Michelob Ultra, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light, all that good stuff. Okay, all canned beer. All you can drink. If you get too crazy, we might have to shut you down. But other than that, you can drink all you want. But last year we was on a bit of a budget. I mean, we started out of thin air just a few months before that. So
yes.
This year we got a little bit of we left a little bit of money in our budget after spending $80,000 on our fish purchase for our fish release on October 17th. But we have some momentum now. So we have Tito's. So like this year vodka, from a vodka standpoint, it's not some off brand. It's Tito's, which everybody tends to like. We're gonna have Crown Raw this year.
Nice.
Jack Daniels. We weren't able. Crown Raw was a little out of our price range last year. And of course, from a silent auction and a live auction standpoint, I wanted to make a list of all the stuff we got coming in, Jay. But I was a little too busy today to be able to do it. But I'll tell you like this: like we have a buddy of mine that just came on. His name is Bryce. His dad's building this. I mean, it's incredible the woodwork he does. But he's gonna build this He's got a 6-foot pirogue with a display where you could display it upright in your house. So it's not for float. It is literally, it's going to be somebody's got a big living room or a man cave. We have a fab shop that's building one of these aluminum. It might be stainless. But anyway, it's either aluminum or stainless, a pirogue, and it's designed where you serve your crawfish and all out of it. And just since, I would say last week, we had a meeting last week. And since then, the items that are they're just flooding in, you know what I'm saying, that we're gonna put together for the live and silent auctions and everything else. So yeah, it's coming along great, and it'll be here before we know it.
That's awesome. Guys, I went last year. I had a great time. There's so many fishermen there, and everybody was talking to everybody. I got to meet Steve Rockwile, Austin Plaison. Got to talk to Tyler and Steve and Scott and so many people. It was just, everybody was talking, and of course I don't talk about much else other than fishing. And I was,
well, that's a good crowd for you then.
I was with my people, man. I fit right in. Had such a good time, and had me a couple of beers. And last year you had I don't know how to say that word.
We had a boucherie last year.
Boucherie, okay.
So
I don't know. I don't even.
What we did this year in exchange, we exchanged the boucherie out for the grillades. Just the boucherie it's something that literally I had to have one of my buddies out there. My buddy T Roach. T Roach was out there before daylight, slaving on Hogzilla. The hog we had got was so big, so it's a lot of work. So this is going to be just as good, but it's going to be a little more efficient in terms of the output and everything it takes to produce it. Yeah,
I love jambalaya.
It'll be there, buddy.
I love jambalaya. So guys, man, just come on out and support us. And also there's another way that they can support us. If you believe in what we're doing, and what we're doing is we are stocking Florida strain bass. Florida strain bass between 4 and 6 inches long. If you believe in what we're doing, and you believe in the fishing in Southern Louisiana, please, and you can't come to our event and you're just too busy in August, just donate $20 to us. That will really help.
Yeah, we'll take it, Jay.
You can donate right on the website. Actually, I just took the website down. Thank you, Gary.
Fine. There you go.
SponsorUnited.com.
And Jay, I'd like to say something else on a closing note.
Sure.
I know you said that if someone can't make it, or even if someone's out of state and they just believe in what we're doing, and they may never have any expectation of fish here, but they're just doing it because, like I said, they believe in what we do and they want to support us. You know, we'll take any help we can get, of course. But I just wanted to say that I think I mentioned this on the very first podcast we ever did, but we're not having this conversation right now if it wasn't for the fact that I heard about what Cliff Crochet did with his organization in Assumption
Yes.
Parish. And when I heard it, the first time I heard it, the exact thing I said, well, was heck, if he can do it, we can do it. And it took a while before
Yes.
I, was motivated enough to, try to gain some traction around here and say, who's willing to help me get this off the ground. And that was in June of 2000. So that was about 18 months ago. That was in June of 24. But my point is that my hope is, because we're not slowing down. We got a lot of stuff going on that I'm just really not at liberty to talk about at the moment. But
Sure.
we've got some pretty big, ambitious goals. And I'm hoping that as we continue to grow and our name continues to get out there, that other areas are like, well, man, once again, Cliff Crochet is doing it. The guys with Responsible English United are doing it. So if anyone out there would ever have some interest in one to start their own thing, they basically what Cliff's doing and what we're doing, he's got a different name than us. He does things a little differently than what we do. But at the end of the day, we all want to accomplish the same thing, So if anybody out there would ever have any interest, my number and Tyler's number, I think, is on the. But anyway, it's not displayed right here, but they can get. Well, I'll just say my number. It's 985-859-6458, and of course Jay has my number. But if anybody would ever would want to contact myself directly to find out kind of what we did to get started, because like with any upstart organization, we made our fair share of errors. Now we got a lot more right than we did wrong. But if I can help somebody avoid some of those mistakes, you can get it off the ground that much quicker, then we'd love to help out.
Yeah, guys, please help us out, man. We, all the money goes to Responsible Anglers United, and they really delivered last year. Because, like I said before, this is what it's all about right here. They did what they said they were going to do. They did it in the first year, and on the first year, they got 32,000 bass.
It's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot.
I'm impressed.
We were impressed. We kind of outdid our. The goal was 100,000. It was, and that's what we raised. But I don't know how much I really believed it. I kept saying it. So obviously, if we raised 100,000 last year, we'd like to do that again this year. And we did get some help from the state last year. We got a lot of help. And this year, I think it's kind of more on us. But I still think we could raise 100,000 on our own, and we're going to find out here in a couple of weeks.
Yes, we'll find out in a couple of weeks. And that's, man, I give you guys all the kudos in the world, and I'm just honored to be part of this.
Well,
I'm honored. This is
and just real quick, Jay, you've been there since day one, since Tad told me. Tad's like, man, you got to give him a guy, Jay. He's got a podcast and everything else, and everything he said was spot on correct. You're the real deal. This is where your heart is, and you've been over backwards to help us since day one. So we appreciate it, and that's why we try to support you as much as you support us.
You do support me, and like I said, just setting me up with guys to fish with. That's why I podcast. I love to fish, and it doesn't even, being a podcaster, I really don't even have to have a boat. I can just go out with everybody else's boats and just fish with other people and have fun.
Unless you're looking to buy one, I know somebody got one for sale.
Yeah, you got one for sale, and man, Tyler, if I could afford that, I'd buy that today. But that's
well, every year I got one for sale, so just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And you guys are the real deal too, man. You did what you said you were going to do, which is getting more rare. Which I don't. That's for another time to talk about.
No,
Steve
but I know what you're saying.
Great man. Even Steve Rockweiler showed up. Look at that.
What's up, Rock?
I fished with him too through you guys, and thank you very much for setting me up with him. What a great day that was.
Yeah, you fishing with the right people, man.
Just watching the way that Steve, I'm sure Tyler knows this too. Watching the way that Steve handles his Texas rigs, learn something new.
He's good.
He's very good.
He's real good.
And that's what I watch. I watch the way guys cast. I watch the way that they, work their lures.
Yeah. He's good. He's almost as good as me. He's good. He's getting there. I'll give it to him.
He's getting there.
You might see him on the elites next year.
I'm joking. I got to fish with him too, and that was pretty awesome. That's one of those deals where you just kind of sit there and watch what he does.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of that. I did a lot of sitting there watching. One thing about the South Louisiana bass, I've never seen this before. I got a bite and I'm trying, and that dang thing ran right towards the boat, and I'm reeling like mad, trying. Dang, missed him.
Mm-hmm.
That's so frustrating. Steve's like, small ones don't do that. No,
there you go.
No, I'm even more mad, man. I had a chance at a big fish and I blew it. Steve says, look at this.
Insect collecting. Well,
I don't even know how to respond to that one.
Well, I think that's a good way to go out. We'll go out on a high note. We Rottweiler stole the show on that one. Thanks, Rock.
We did. There's plenty of insects down here too.
Oh, they are, man. Just light a match at night.
More insects than largemouth bass.
That's true.
Frogs got to eat some.
Lake Buff. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go.
Yep, that's true. You got a lot of phoenixes down here too. This driveway.
Yeah, Tyler said they got a phoenix too in his driveway.
Or two, yeah.
Phoenixes. Yeah.
Or two.
Yep.
Well, hey guys, man, I had a great time. Thank you so much. I've looked forward to this for weeks. I've been, guys who are watching, I try to get these guys on all the time. They're just a wealth of information, and they're doing so much for the fishing down here in Southern Louisiana. And that's what I'm all about, man. Just, you see that picture right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Responsible Anglers United did. That's what they did.
And we'll keep doing it year after year. That was not a fluke. It was not a year one thing. And, hopefully 20, 30, 40 years from now,
we don't even need to do it.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario, where we don't need to do it anymore. But until we get there, full speed ahead. Also,
Tyler, I haven't said this. Congratulations on getting in the Black Bass Advisory Board. I'm thrilled having you there.
Oh, thank you. It's pretty cool. It's the same deal, with all these great fishermen and just people around Louisiana. And, that's one other thing too, like before we leave is, it's like, wildlife fishery, you hear the green jeans and stuff, but honestly, after sitting in some of those meetings and listening to them, they just like us. They want to help us, and people don't believe that, but I'm like, there are some good people, and they got some good people in charge right now that are honestly
that's the thing
wanting to help us right now.
That's the thing.
That they're helping us with the fish release, like some states they don't care, and like maybe back then they didn't, but now it's good people on that board, and they really want to help us out with that survey that came out a couple months ago or so, and I hope everybody took it, because it's true. They're going to help us however they can, and I'm going to help however I can on that board too.
Oh yeah, the first time I've seen in my life where they're trying to give the public a seat at the table. They are literally going out their way to ask you, okay, because everybody's got a solution. You know what I mean? Everybody. So look, we're good. Tell us what it is, and
also with Tyler and Steve on from Southern Louisiana, man, there's a voice right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a voice.
Oh yeah,
you got the right. They didn't only get people from Southern; they got the right people in.
That's right. That's what's important.
Yep. I mean, guys who live the bass fishing way of life. Because for me, fishing isn't a sport; it's a way of life.
Yeah, and that's how these guys are. So that's why they, their hearts in the right place.
Right away, man. You can't fake that.
No.
Yep.
No, it's been all it's all been action. It's been all action with these guys, and not empty promises or whatnot. They always they're literally they're going out of the way to find, not only it's one thing if we were like, man, can you help us here and there? It's they're way out ahead of that. They're going out their way to bring ideas to us, like with the RAU and Lake Bluff partnership project going through 2031 and everything, and I'd like to talk about that, but it's just we out of time.
Man.
And maybe we will talk about that on another podcast sometime after.
Yeah, about to say you're welcome on
event.
my podcast anytime, both of y'all, man.
Okay.
We can do that in another podcast, but now we're at 30 after the hour. You said that's about all the time we have for this podcast. But I'd like to thank everybody. Man, Blake showed up, Lake Benoit. Steve Rockweiler was active. Thank you guys. When you guys talk, Gary Bourne was here.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Thank you for commenting. Thank you for commenting, man. That just makes it so much. Just puts the icing on the cake for me when people comment on what I do.
Absolutely.
Thank you too for all your efforts, man. Thank you everybody for watching the Let's Talk Fishing show. Because I wouldn't have the show if it wasn't for guys like you two and guys who watch my show.
Yes, sir.
So, man, I can't say enough about you guys. Anyways, with that, guys, I'm going to end the podcast and just have a great weekend, guys.
All right.
See ya.
See y'all on the 31st.
Yeah, we sure will. I'll be there.